Any good editors out there? We need a good editor.
Hey,
Greetings and
subscribe on
welcome.
Patreon. Send us some money. Tell us who we do next.
See, if we had a good editor, all this stuff would be edited out and you wouldn't hear it. But now you're going to hear it. So, welcome to Old Drunken Discography. We're talking Ghost. I'm Jason. That's Tim. That's Bill.
Hi.
This is Tim's
Hi.
pick. If this is your first Ghost video with us, we rotate out each week. Last week I picked Propaganda. Go check that shit out. Next week we're doing Poison. If you like Ghost, you probably might like Poison. I don't know. They're all 80s.
They're not, though. Ghost is current.
Well, Ghost is
Who
current.
says old guys don't listen to new music?
That's true. All right, we're talking Impera, Imperial, whatever the
Impera,
fuck this
yeah,
is.
is what I would say. Yeah.
That's a cool album cover too. Jesus Christ.
Yep. Yep. Same artist, of course.
All right. Bill, what did you think of Impera?
Oh gosh. So, as I said last time, a couple times ago, maybe at this point,
You listen
Once
to it
again,
on YouTube?
starting with that instrumental. You know what? It happened. We get it. At this point, you know what to expect.
It served its purpose well. That's what my notes say.
Yep, and that's more than nailed it. Kaiserion and Spillways, I don't have super detailed notes for those two. For me, the kind of, I want to say they happened. They were more fillers for me though. That led up to Call Me Little Sunshine, which I'm guessing, Tim, was this their big single off this album?
It was the first one. Yeah.
So first single. God damn, I've gotten good at calling those singles.
You
Yeah.
got that pretty fly for a white guy thing going there for you.
There is a technicality on this album, though, where another song was released before the first single, but nobody knew it was going to be on the album because it came out on a movie soundtrack.
Oh, interesting. What, if you don't mind spoiling here, which one was that one?
Oh, yeah. No, Hunter's Moon was actually the first one released. It came out on the Halloween Kills or whatever the last Halloween movie was. It was like the theme song for that.
Interesting, because then my follow-up to after Call Me Little Sunshine was Hunter's Moon. It was a solid follow-up potential single question mark. And you just filled that off the head.
Yep.
Let's see here. Watcher in the Sky. Oh, gosh. Everything about this song, I should like it. And I know that damn well. But God, I'm not sure about the vocals. For me, the bridge was just kind of okay. It just got really repetitive. My reference is it felt like Hey Jude from the Beatles, where you just, at the end, you just...
No, you're way into oblivion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, here's the thing, and I know everything about this song, I should love it, but it just, I don't know, it happened. I'm just gonna leave it at that before I delay anymore here. Dominion. Oh, Dominion. I'm sure Jason's gonna talk all about this one.
I got some notes.
Oh yeah. Especially about the horns that are present within it, because I know how much Jason loves horns in an instrumental.
If it's not the same fucking two notes over and over again, I don't mind horns. Fucking Queens of the Stone Age did two fucking notes over and over again for like 10 minutes.
It was three. Calm down. Like,
oh, okay, three notes over and over again.
There was more than two.
Ghost didn't do that.
It was
Ghost,
three, to be fair.
Ghost didn't. Ghost didn't do that.
It was a 1-4-1-5.
Listen, all right. Jason's going to talk more about that. I'm not going to steal his thunder. All right. All right, next one we got it's 20s. For me, that wasn't for me. It wasn't the ideal start. I wasn't sure what they were going for at this point. It.
Well, so we're in the 20s, but they're
Yep.
going for a 1920s, which was the Roaring 20s, big band, Art Deco, Great
That's
Gatsby,
was it 100
Prohibition.
years later? Like that's
The 20s
man.
were before his time. He's not that old.
I
20s
mean,
were before all of our times. What do you, what do you mean? Ain't none of us that old.
except for me, I'm actually like 537 years old now.
Tim, you are just an old soul, and there's nothing more to say about that. Darkness at the Heart of My Love. Again, my note for that one, I should like this song, but I don't. Like, it's still growing on me, and I'm still unsure about how I feel about this song.
I bet you liked Griffwood.
You know, fun fact. So I naturally write in cursive for every song, for every word that I write down is in cursive. Griftwood, for whatever reason, I printed that song title when I did my notes. Why? I don't know. And then I read my notes. And my note was late age Def Leppard question mark? Was this Diamond Star Halo? I don't know. So the thing is, this didn't come out in what would have been, it had to have been 2017, 2018 to be official Def Leppard, right? 5 years before they actually released the album.
Oh, when did Diamond Star Halo come out?
That was
2019? 18?
No, it was
19?
2020 something, wasn't it?
It was 2020.
Something.
Yeah, it was like 2021, 2022.
Oh, was it that late? Okay.
It was late,
Yeah, it was late.
way later than anyone would have thought. I will say that.
Well, and
Later
this
than-
is 2022.
Yep. So the thing is that one should have come out 5 years prior. It came out the same year as Diamond Star Halo, which is a problem because we all know for a fact Def Leppard was at least 5 years behind the time at this point in time.
6, yeah. 6 years behind the
6.
time.
5, 6. It's irrelevant. Behind the time. Like, I'm not sure. Did they then copy Diamond Star Halo on that one? Or were they just a victim of it? Should they have gone before?
I don't think they were copying Diamond Star Halos. I think they were just copying. I mean, Diamond Star Halos is just a copy of Def Leppard from the past.
Pyromania.
80s
Yeah.
glam rock produced in 20.
It's arena rock. And
Well, yeah, and again, not getting into names or identities or anything, but we've got Papa 4 now, and Papa 4 went to high school with Jason and I. He's just a year under you, grade wise.
yeah,
He
which
went,
means he should have
he
been
was in a
listening to that
civilized
shit.
nation, unlike us. But he had this. He heard the same radio we heard, and he was the same age going through those same trends, and so being of the age where yes, pyromania and hysteria are instrumental to my early childhood, and memories and what was in the landscape. So it makes sense. And yeah, Joe Elliott does do a version of Spillways. Did you guys watch that video?
I did not, but that fits my notes. I didn't know Joe Elliott was on this.
He's not. There is a separate single where they take the song Spillways and just have Joe Elliott sing it.
Is the next Ghost album going to be produced by Mutt Lange?
So I'll go next. I was a little disappointed with Prequel, but I wasn't off the train. Like, let's see what they do next, right?
Yep.
And like I said, Hunter's Moon was the first thing I heard from here. And I like that song. I think Hunter's Moon's a good song. I think that holds up to the Ghost catalog. And then there's the first single, which was Call Me Little Sunshine, which I don't know if it's for me. It was a hit. I saw this tour. The tour was still great. And the songs they played from this album were all pretty good live. But we're not ranking live shows. We're ranking albums.
I'll give them that. They look good live. I watched some live Ghost.
So out of curiosity, speaking as someone who knows nothing about them, who did like Ghost tour with, anyways?
Well, so when they were still in the clubs and stuff, they started getting some shows with like Mastodon and Opeth.
Oh shit!
And then that moved up to them where they got to open for Metallica and they got to open for Iron Maiden. And then that led to now they're headlining. And the first headlining show I saw the second headlining show I saw was they had like an industrial band open for them. And then they were touring with Amon Amarth on this tour. They tour with a lot of people now. A lot of festivals, being European, they're connected over there.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, in America, they're now headliners. But when they were openers, it was Mastodon, Opeth. I think they did a tour with. I don't know. I'd have to dig up.
So you said Mastodon, as we've mentioned at least once before here. Mastodon's one of the bigger name like metal bands here
in the last 25 years. In this century, they have been one of the bands to carry the mantle of metal, and still be able to break through on a mass appeal. Like Pantera or Metallica or Iron Maiden, before that.
A lot of those, Pantera and Metallica, I want to say call them older guard, but those were
products of their times, and they still hold up. But products of their times.
To Megalodon, especially,
Mastodon,
or Mastodon, potato tomato. You know what I'm saying?
I knew what you meant.
You can't pronounce any of these.
You're talking about that COCEP, aren't you? Megalodon.
I was going with that too. It worked. But they were on metal tours in the last 15 years.
Which makes sense, absolutely. Especially like the sounds and everything you're hearing.
And the presentation. They're still out there in Pope outfits. This tour, the Nameless Ghouls, and so they were hoods on the first two, and then they moved to more Art Deco theater masks for the third album. And those evolved as more people came in and out of the band, and they needed to specialize them. And we got the Ghoulettes. And then this tour cycle, it's almost like a Star Wars underwater Aquaman look to them. I don't know. They're
I don't
very
even
cartoony,
know what that means, but
it's cool. It's cartoony, but it's cool. Papa 4 has shown himself to be very flamboyant, very centered in a lot of theatrics. A lot of what's it called? Rhinestone.
Like a rhinestone cowboy?
Yeah. Papa 4 is a bit of a rhinestone cowboy.
Oh my god.
And there's Papa 4 is great, I love all the Papas. And the Cardinal. I don't know. I think the highlight for this album, there's no point in going in really into the rest of it. The highlight for me on this album is Watcher in the Sky. And they did play it the last time I saw them live, and that solidified it. That song sounded great live. And then 20s is one that has grown on me. Like, the more I hear it, the more I do like it. But as an album, this one has really not caught on with me. Much like maybe Infestissimo.
So I curiosity, when they do Watcher in the Sky, do they? Because like Hey Jude, like they carry that on for. I'm exaggerating when I say 10 minutes, but like
No,
that
you know what I would say is for live, it went on the perfect amount.
okay? Because that's because like especially like you listen to like some. I mean, when I was
It does
listening
get a
to,
little repetitive on the recording. I agree.
yep.
And like, yeah, even then, like top song contender, just because I'd want to pick something from this album.
But like top
Oh
song contender after
man.
like the first like
Oh fuck y'all. I
half.
got
I mean,
2 top
I would
song
say there's
contenders
two
on
songs that are
this.
better than it, but that's just based on the album, based on album versions. I would say two songs better on this album.
I would say there's 2 better.
There's a couple other ones I like as well, but I'm going with Watcher in the Sky.
It's
All right.
it's a
personally.
solid album for solid song. I'm sorry for the first. I'll say for the first half of the song for the album, just because the second half just cut copy paste, cut copy paste.
It's
cut,
a little
copy,
forgettable, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. My
And maybe I
notes.
could need more time with it because it's the newest one.
Yeah. My notes say I like the opening instrumental. It served its purpose well. Karasan.
Icerion.
Kaiserion.
Oh shit! Sound like some Van Halen up in here. I like the lines. It's the sound of
very
another
Van Halen-y, yeah.
deadline whistling past your ears. It's the sight of a million regrets mounting over the years. That was a good line. Spillways kind of had a Journey vibe, or maybe a Pokemon theme. That may be more
Or a little
accurate.
Def Leppard-y,
That
John.
could be, yeah.
It was very, very Pokemon sounding.
Okay.
Call Me Little Sunshine was fine. Sounded familiar again, but I'm not sure why. Like a midday.
I know why. You ready to dig deep into the coffers of the mind?
Hold on. Let me finish my notes. Like a midday
Okay.
music video played on VH1 in 1991 or something.
John Bon Jovi's solo debut, Blaze of Glory.
Nailed it.
Holy shit! It is.
Because that would be VH1 midday.
Yeah.
Which again, being our age, I totally get where he's like, yeah, okay, that's cool enough.
Yeah, but just because you're our age, don't mean you got to cover the
Right, and then again, like I haven't gotten into it yet, but I'm not really a fan of nostalgia.
I know you're not.
Nobody is immune from it. We all suffer from it, and we have to accept a lot of it.
I accept my
on levels
nostalgia.
we don't want to.
See,
I'll accept that shit.
I-
Little Miss Can't Be Wrong's a fucking great song.
And
And if I have to accept Blaze of Glory, then fine. Blaze of Glory is a great song.
Blaze of glory. I'll stand
But
by
I
some Bon
remember
Jovi.
when that came out and thinking it wasn't cool.
Well, you don't think it's cool then because you're
Well-
like 14, 13, or
Right.
but
And Bon Jovi's done.
actually,
yeah,
that
it was
wasn't
still
even
pretty
the
cool.
top- That
was
wasn't
still
even my
pretty cool.
top 5 song on that album. But anyways,
Well, you like all them singles. If we did
I was
Slippery
a
When
Bon
Wet,
Jovi fan leading into that.
you'd put
I
Living on a
would-
Prayer. If we did Bon
I-
Jovi, you'd do Living on a Prayer.
no, actually, that wouldn't be. That probably wouldn't be my top
Want It
song.
Dead or Alive?
Nope.
I'd do
I know
Living
my
on a
Bad
Prayer.
top
Medicine.
song is for Bon Jovi.
Hey, I
And
had
it was-
Crossroads on CD.
It's not a single, actually. I think.
It's Is My Life.
Nope.
It's my life.
I mean, that would make my top song list, but wouldn't be my number one.
Bad Medicine.
Nope.
All right. We ain't talking Bon Jovi. We talking Ghost. All right, Hunter's Moon.
And this is my problem with this album. This is where it takes me. Is to kind of shitty 80s glam rock. That, yeah, in the 80s I liked, but I was also 7, 8, whatever. So I feel weird about it.
Hence the Def Leppard Diamond Star Halos comment.
Yeah. Which Def Leppard's doing the same thing. They're trying to sound like 1984 as well.
My comment on this album was like, hey, like we're just 80s glam rock, but in 2022.
All right, will y'all let me fucking talk about this goddamn album?
Jason, your opinion doesn't matter. We've already established that shit.
Motherfucker, I'm going to edit your ass out this whole video. We'll see who matters. Hunter's
Just put a
Moon.
scene missing over him the whole time.
All we hear is
Hey,
Jason.
you get a goddamn slap,
Also,
motherfucker. You getting a slap.
We get a little blurb at the end where I
We ain't talked about the
breakdown.
slap in a while. You getting a fucking slap right now.
Hey, come on. It's Tim's turn to hold the slap button. He gets to decide what that slap button is.
Hey, ain't no timeout. We live. According to the
I ain't
editor.
saying timeout is relative here. Fucking air it.
You getting
Tim
a slap.
decides when the slap comes out.
Tim does hold the slap
Room's
button.
getting the slap.
Tim holds the slap button, but the editor holds the
Whole
final.
room's getting a slap.
Fucking hell. Hunter's Moon, alright? There were parts I liked, parts I didn't. This is a weird one. By the end, I came to the conclusion that I did not like it. Watching in the Sky, it happened. Wasn't a fan of this one either. The best part was the guitar solo. Damn you, Ghost, for making me nostalgic for old Ghost. Dominion. Now we are in an old movie about the Victorian times. Damn you, Ghost, for making me nostalgic for the Ren Fair. 20s. Top song motherfucking contender. This was some good shit. Listen up, you motherfuckers. Those Ivy League dopes. You want to mock us? Tell them this is war and not fighting a war is for suckers. Kiss my ass. Assassinate. That's a good fucking song. Darkness at the Heart of My Love. I didn't mind it. The backing melody was kind of cool. Just kind of flowed through doing its thing while the guitars and vocals were trying to take the main stage. Griffwood, very arena rock. Had a few pretty parts and a great guitar solo, but it was fucking arena rock. Bite of Passage could have been in the intro to Respite. It didn't need to be a separate track. Respite, pretty good closer. A little long, but it was pretty, and it had a few interesting changes throughout. A few top song contenders, but I do think it dipped musically. Feels more poppy arena rock than the previous albums and less dynamic. Motherfucker, we still got to talk about an EP on this record. This video is going to be so fucking long.
Man, we could cut out when we mentioned Def Leppard.
Well, did anybody
fucking
else
blast.
listen to this one? Did anybody else listen to this?
I listened to the first 2 songs, but I guess my notes didn't save. But the Jesus He Knows Me Genesis cover fucking rocks.
So that's my question. Was Jesus He Knows Me a Genesis cover?
Yes, and it
Yep.
fucking rocked.
Because I love.
And it was a single. They made a video for it.
Because I love the Genesis original version. I didn't hear this cover of it, but I fucking love the Genesis version.
They do a cover. Yeah.
I forgot to mention it way earlier, but I accidentally listened to them covering Enter Sandman, and that was a fucking good cover too. That piano
That came out on the
instrumental.
Metallica Blacklist, which was put out for the 30th anniversary of the Black Album, where it was basically a triple album of a bunch of artists covering every song from it.
They covered
Everybody
it pretty
from
damn well.
Ghost to Weezer to Off to Miley Cyrus to Elton John to like Chris Stapleton. Like there's a bunch of random people on that album. So yeah, it's all covers. There's nothing original here. And then keeping in mind with the album cycle that we're on, they're all very kind of 80s centric. And with very slick production. See No Evil is a television cover. And it's pretty good. Yeah, Jesus He Knows Me it's a really good cover with a really good video that I would highly recommend. Hanging Around is a Stranglers cover. It's okay.
I was hoping it was a Counting Crows cover. Been hanging around this town on the corner.
Hey, that wouldn't surprise me either. I will say at this point, though, throughout the whole career, all the covers that they pick are really interesting and also somehow fit the theme of what this whole Ghost thing has become. And so even if it's a song I don't like, or I'm like, why the hell did you cover, We Don't Need Another Hero by Tina Turner from the Thunderdome soundtrack? It still kind of works.
That's the one I wanted to hear.
It's not what I want to hear, but it still kind of works. And then I did skip one there. Phantom of the Opera, of course, is an Iron Maiden song. It's one of my favorite Iron Maiden songs. and I think Ghosts do it really well. And so between that and the Genesis cover, like I would recommend this. I don't know if it's actually available physically yet, though. I think this is still only streaming.
It's available on YouTube. I'm watching it right now.
Sure. Yeah, it's available digitally, but like actual physical, like vinyl release, I do like the artwork. And I do like those two covers a lot. So, like, I'm still kind of in that position where it's like, well, okay, I didn't really like this cycle, like, a whole bunch, but I'm still willing to see what they do next.
So you're giving them a 2 album.
Which as of this recording, they're going to be releasing a movie at the end of the month in theaters for only 4 days. So that should be fun.
That's interesting.
Might even introduce Papa 5.
You know, I'm watching the Jizzy Knows Me video in the background here right now. And I've 100% heard this before. Do I like the Genesis original version better? Yes, but I've heard this in context with a couple other videos, like snippets I've seen where like it's usually like a background track or
that's a deep Genesis cut.
And that's if we ever cover Genesis, trust me, I almost guarantee my top songs are only gonna be deep cuts. But anyways,
it's Tim's turn to guess.
The artists we love. Yeah.
Like I'll say this just quickly. Jizzy Knows Me. It's a decent cover. Personally, I like Genesis's more, but that's a whole other conversation entirely.
Yeah.
But it is a good cover. I'll say that.
It was pretty rocking.
And they nail Phantom of the Opera, which is not an easy song to play, and they nail it.
All right, so it's Tim's turn to guess where we're ranking it. The final album.
I did not take the easy way out and only have, number 3 where I only have to guess once. I went twice here.
I would have done that.
Thank you for taking the bullet.
I do my part. I think for Bill and I think we're going to match up on this one and have it 5th.
This one, we're going to be different. And as soon as you started talking, I knew we were going to be different on it.
Interesting. So you're going to move it up to 3?
Yes.
Okay. Damn. Okay.
I love how you knew as soon as I said I didn't have it 5th that I would have it 3.
Yeah.
Color code will tell all on this, which is interesting because I won't say too much more here. Let you do Jason's first.
See, I'm torn here because
I think Jason's going to have it 4th. Or no, I think he's going to have it 5th.
You're both on both accounts. You're right on both accounts.
Yeah. Okay.
My printed notes have it at 4th, but like I said in the
Opus is
video,
the better album.
Opus is better.
Yeah,
I will hand over fist say Opus is better.
Well, I'm not listening to you. You got like
I got
Infestium
what?
way down too low. But I do think when I got to the end of it, I was like, I wanted to go back and revisit Opus, whereas I didn't want to go back and revisit Impera.
Right.
So I might have to pull a mulligan, even though it's not a mulligan for anybody except for my printed notes. But I think it's going to have to go in 5th. I'm happy with that.
So where are you at with the colors?
The color, Jason, you're gonna have to come through with some colors here. I'm gonna be real.
Me? Why I gotta come through with colors?
Dude.
Tim and I got the same bottom one. You and Tim got the same first one, but me and Tim got the same bottom.
Tim and I have the same 1st, 2nd, and 4th one.
Well, I got one question to ask before I do my colors.
No, he never lived in a tree. Okay, I'll answer that question.
No, we're not talking Cinderella here.
If you know, go back to Cinderella.
Yeah, go watch our Cinderella videos. Are they serious? That's my question. This is a band it's like Kiss, right? It's all about the theatrics. It's all a joke. They're not serious, right?
But are they serious?
I don't
This is
know.
why I don't have an answer for your question, because this is one of the things that I find interesting about this band in a current climate. There's not a whole lot out there for me. But here's a band that, like, you know, they do a lot of things I like. They do some things I don't like. They find some things I think are funny. There's some things I'm like, is this a joke? Like, they get me to think, and I enjoy thinking and listening to good music.
That completely changes my colors. Like, it depends on if the Pope or the father or where the fuck he is, I can't remember his name.
Papa Emeritus.
Papa. If that dude is serious, then
I mean, he's making a career out of it, and if he is, and on the serious side of it, I would say yes, he's very serious about this as a career, and I would be fully endorsing of it. You know,
yeah, I'm not talking serious about the band. The band, you can tell they're serious about the band, but like the message of the band, the imagery,
are they behind their lyrics?
Yeah. Are they behind their lyrics? Is he serious about his lyrics, or is it just a?
Is it pretty fly?
Well, no. There's a couple different ways I would say you can come about that. Depending on how you want to look at it.
That's where I'm struggling.
Was Satan a big part of 80s metal?
Yes.
In 2010s?
Are they doing 80s metal in the 2010s?
It's
sometimes. Yep. They're also doing a lot of pop.
You take whatever aspects aren't being done anymore. Everybody forgot about, you know, the Filthy 15 and Merciful Fate and all this great stuff that came out in the 80s, but people really, you know, pushed it down because it was offensive or satanic or whatever.
Yeah.
The Satanic Panic and all that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I was there for the Satanic Panic.
If you're there for if you're going for a vibe, you want to take the vibe of it, well, that was part of it.
Yeah, but...
So why not lean into it? No one else is these days. Now it's yours. Now it's your thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
again, I don't know. I like to think that it doesn't matter because the songs are good enough.
So
and I think that a lot of it's pretty funny. I think it's hilarious.
You think it's hilarious
about Satan and winning Grammys? You know, that's
that's where I'm torn because it is funny. There's a lot of the opening lines they're summoning Satan and Satan shows up in the second album, and in the third album they're like, Satan is here.
You know what? We're gonna go with Satan.
Yeah, hail Satan.
Yeah. I don't think the anti-pope of the Papas is ever going to go away. It's too iconic. The t-shirt game is up, you know? This is what 2020 is, you know? Or whatever year you want to pick in the last 15 years that they've been out. This is now. And there's a lot of it that is nostalgic. Well, nostalgia does sell.
Yeah.
And they're selling.
I mean,
but it's not. I don't know. I don't get this band.
And sex will always sell, right?
I'll say, if you're gonna listen to Ghost, they're all green. They're all competent records.
Sure. Yeah.
There's musically they're there. I couldn't call them a metal band. I don't see it. If you take away the theatrics and you take away the lyrics, musically, for the most part, most of the discography is just pop and synth, and I don't get it. I just don't get this band.
Well, I mean, I'll give you the synth definitely, and the pop comes through too.
There's
Yeah,
pop,
yeah,
dude.
I'll give you
There's
both
pop.
of those. But there's a lot of metal there too. Like, you know,
yeah.
When I think of metal, I don't think
there's
of
great
that.
guitar riffs and the drums are pounding. And
This
we got big
is
choruses.
metal if you think Def Leppard is metal or Poison.
Sure.
It's
pushing it that much more to where it's like, but it's also singing about the same stuff as Merciful Fate. And nobody's going to argue that Merciful Fate isn't metal.
Right, but Merciful Fate doesn't sound like this.
Well, it's pushing the boundary between that metal plus that glam plus that hair. Like that there is a boundary there that I feel like they push. And Tim could disagree with me on that 100%.
They're it's interesting that they're the time frame that they're in, sure. But I didn't like this shit in the 80s. Why would I like it now?
Well, you just gave it
exactly.
All green,
so. I went all green.
There's a nostalgia factor to it.
Because,
but I also think that like they're taking a lot of the stuff that is kind of cool. Like you might not have liked it in the 80s, but then you hear it and you're like, yeah, but that is kind of good. Like, okay, you know, like I hate Dawkins, but man, that guy can play guitar.
Yeah, they're fucking talented musicians.
Right.
Like the music's there, especially in the earlier, like the first 3 records, and even prequel. I think they do a lot of interesting things that nobody else was doing in what year was that?
2018.
Like people weren't doing that, so that's
because
cool.
Glam rock died by like what 94 at the latest.
Yeah, 91.
Yeah. I'm just saying at the latest was 94.
And so if you're gonna bring it back, because we all know that musical styles recycle and what's old is new again. If you're gonna bring it back, you might as well do it right.
And they do it right. I mean, they have the theatrics.
They could just be doing Pour Some Sugar on Me the whole time.
Which is right around the corner, because if this is coming back, Pour Some Sugar on Me is coming back.
Pour Some Sugar on Me should have come up by now. It should have come up by now.
It'll come back around.
We'll see what happens next.
It'll come back around.
We'll see what happens next.
That's what Ghost is starting to get to that point too. They're starting to get in their discography.
5 albums deep.
I see it. Yeah. Well,
15 years.
It's time.
I say they're a new band, but they've been around a while.
But I'll give them all green, because if you're gonna pick up an album that has any one of these album covers, you're gonna get what you expect on it for the most part, and there's none of them are bad. They all have great music at points. So I'll give it all green. If you're curious in Ghost, you could pick up any of these and be, you know what you're in for. Like,
Again, let us know your rankings. Let us know which one you heard first.
I can't believe both you motherfuckers had first album bias though.
Well, so tell you what, I'll go next in the color coding here, because I feel like, well, Tim and I are going to differ slightly on the color coding, I feel like. And that's, so like, I mean, I like that 80s glam rock especially.
Yeah, we're doing Poison next week. Stick around for that.
Go back, watch Cinderella. We got Poison coming up here.
Another reason why I picked this band.
He's already got color green here. So I'm going green. And then I'm actually going to go yellow. And I'm going to follow it with the red for the last one.
Damn.
You got to go back to that one, my friend.
And we go back to our video we're talking about. I know I need to go back to it. Like,
but you just don't want to. And that's fine.
Like, I could potentially put a yellow on their last one, because it was starting to lean towards that Def Leppard Journey sound.
Well, and I'll just jump in right there then. That is my colors. The last one gets a yellow. Just for that very reason.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
But-
I'm green all the way else, including the EPs
Well, here's
and the live album.
I
I
mean-
can't wait to see the movie.
I had top songs off that last record. They do some really good stuff on
There's a
that.
couple there for sure.
I mean, for me, Infestasassimum, like it.
You know what? Fuck it. I ain't gonna be the one that has the most green on a goddamn Ghost video. Fuck it.
Like, and go back to that video. I know I need to go visit this record because it's a grower. I know I need to listen to it a lot more. For me, they were almost too experimental on it, with a lot of things going on.
And I get that argument too.
This is the
Like-
era Vulgaris. Like this is where they
Yeah. It
Well, but
works
like
for me, much like Era Vulgaris. You know?
I mean, Era Vulgaris. Well, Jason, you and I had Era Vulgaris at number 1 or number 2, I think, for both of us, right? I mean, I think
It was
I
my
know
number one.
It was my number 1 as well. So number 1's across the board here. Like, I mean, I liked what they do. I mean, that's Queens. We're not talking about Queens. We're talking about Ghost here. Like,
they both had Dave Grohl as a drummer.
Fucking Dave Grohl, man. That motherfucker shows up everywhere.
Right?
Dave
We should
Grohl,
do some
come on the
Tenacious
show.
D at some point.
Oh yeah.
but like, I don't know. Like, it could be a grower, absolutely. But like, I was that last
But
one.
overall, not a bad pick, right?
No. Oh, absolutely not. I mean, there's a couple songs I'm gonna come back to here. I mean, the
Well,
thing
let's
is,
get some top songs going, and we'll let you know which ones to go back to.
yeah, but so top songs are gonna tell. I think actually even more than this color coding will.
Yeah. That pretty much sums it up. But yeah, stick around. We're gonna do our
One
top
more thing.
songs.
One more thing. Slaps all around.
Put that in. Slaps all around. It's fucking. We're gonna have to revoke Tim's slap button. All right.
You guys brought it up. I wasn't gonna do it.
Oh, that's because
I
Bill.
didn't bring anything up. I just exemplified that you had the control of the sound.
Well, yeah, the editor's got the fucking controller of the slap button. You'll see. You getting slapped right now, Bill.
Oh yeah, hey, slap me all with that dookie. Give it to me.
Oh, you want a dookie slap? That's a special
Give
slap.
it to me. Give it to me.
Give it to you, baby.
Don't watch our shows with your eyes closed.
Be safe. Make good decisions. Stick around for top songs. Let us know your rankings down below. And that's
And
it.
which album you got into first.